Nigel Cecil, calling things out as you like it, especially for his fair-minded friends.
Hello, Chakabatis. Thank you for joining me. Moi, Nigel Cecil, entertainment entrepreneur. What, Hillary? Thank you for being with moi, Hillary. And of course, Hillary likes to remind moi that entertainment entrepreneur is a kind of dream in my own lunchtime. But we're all allowed to dream in show business, Hillary. And thank you to my fair-minded, equitable friends for sending in their comments and observations to my usual email address and Twitter account. And this particular video, thank you to you, the viewer, who may not be sort of included within that equitable, fair-minded friends, because two of them, Hillary, yes, two, indeed two, have been in touch with their observations following my last video, which was about artificial intelligence, mentioning this. Yes, my icon to say I am live and in person. And it's only when we've got this icon on, or it's displayed on the screen, that you know it's live and in person. Now, why is that important? Well, you see, Equity, the trade union for actors, variety entertainers and other creators professionally engaged across the United Kingdom, have a campaign. Stop artificial intelligence stealing the show. And naturally, they focus on terms and conditions of employment, protecting the members' copyright and making sure they're not getting ripped off by artificial intelligence data scraping their creativity to use for something else. And a very worthy campaign. But of course, in saying that, Equity is also currently known as being focused on changing the world for the better through arts and culture. And my two viewers, well, more than two, it's just two messages came in, Hillary, yes, said to Nigel, moi, are they focusing on the more broader picture of artificial intelligence? And they mentioned alignment and bias. Because you see, artificial intelligence, what is it aligned to? Now, one would hope it was aligned to basic human principles and also ethical concepts. But is it? And who decides that it should be all aligned on one group activity, one group focus? Now, Oliver Dowden, we'll have him at the end of the video, will we? Yes. The Deputy Prime Minister of the United Kingdom addressed a meeting of the United Nations a couple of days ago. Well, he, as most politicians, we'll all join together. But will they? Will they? Because alignment, if artificial intelligence is created down in Australia or in America or in China or in Russia, who is deciding or checking that the alignment is all the same? And what happens if artificial intelligence is started and the alignment unknowingly, because it could happen unknowingly, drifts off? Because you could be watching something not realizing that the premise on which it was based 2 years ago, which had good alignment, has suddenly developed, well, spuriously into something completely different. So who is going to check globally that the alignment sticks to ethical principles that are to the advantage and the protection of humans, to us? So that's alignment. And then we come to bias. Now, bias, presumably one would think that if you're brought up in a culture that is completely different from that of the United Kingdom, let's say China or North Korea, and you develop artificial intelligence, will you be influenced by your culture and start to, almost unconscious bias, build into your artificial intelligence a bias that when it's seen globally, others might not be aware of that? So if one company starts to dominate artificial intelligence, will that bias, the unconscious bias almost, start in a few years' time to influence everybody without them knowing it? And so those are two important topics, alignment and bias. Which is why, again, you see, if it's artificial intelligence, how do you know the artificial intelligence is responsible to who? Who? Because, well, it was done by them over there. No, them over there. Well, they can all deny plausible deniability. It wasn't us. Well, it was this computer. It was AI, which is why I still come round to the idea, if you identify what is live, and this was my logo, what is live, alpha, omega, everything live, and only say you may use that logo if you are live, recording live, in person, it's you, and you have someone internationally, globally to protect it, to make it a criminal event if you say you're live when you're not. But if I say something now, you know that I'm responsible. Nigel Moi is responsible. So there we are. Artificial intelligence, alignment, and bias. Which brings us to a little concluding point, because you may recall a previous video I mentioned President Joe Biden and how some of the movers and shakers had come together to agree about the principles of what they should abide with. And there's some more. Join them. Have a look at the list now. Amazon, Anthropic, Google, Inflection AI, Meta, Microsoft, OpenAI, Salesforce, Palantir, Scale AI, Stability, Cohere, NVIDIA, IBM, Adobe. Chakabatis, some 15 top movers and shakers there, and probably an ever-increasing number, signing that memorandum of understanding with President Joe Biden. But it is only a voluntary memorandum based on safety, security and trust. But that doesn't mean others might branch off in a different tangent. Which brings me to my 2 emails we had from those viewers who wouldn't normally get in touch. And they've said, Nigel, have you read the book by Mustafa Suleyman called The Coming Wave? Now, Mustafa Suleyman is an artificial intelligence, no, he's real, but you know what I mean, entrepreneur focusing on creativity and the development of artificial intelligence, born in Islington and has been awarded the CBE. And the book, The Coming Wave, well, here's some details. The Coming Wave by Mustafa Suleyman, and thank you for letting me know about it. Now, Hilary, we've ordered a copy because I prefer the in your hand hard copy version, and I'll be reading it to see what is said by Mustafa. And apparently, reading some of the reviews, they are very cautionary about the development of AI. And also, my viewer said, I may not be too happy to read some of the outcomes that have been suggested. So we'll tell you more about that. But they do say it focuses on the idea we have to clearly identify what is live. And then it brings us to Oliver Dowden, doesn't it? And Oliver Dowden, like all politicians, gives an all-encompassing conclusion to their address given to the United Nations discussing artificial intelligence a couple of days ago.
We may not know where the risks lie, how we might contain them, or even the fora in which we must determine them. What we do know, however, is that the most powerful action will come when nations work together. The AI revolution will be a bracing test for the multilateral system to show that it can work together on a question that will define the fate of humanity. Our future, humanity's future, our entire planet's future depends on our ability to do so. That is our challenge, and this is our opportunity to be truly the United Nations. Thank you.
Yes, as you see, typical of all politicians and a lot of trade union activists for that matter. An all-encompassing statement. We're all comrades together. Solidarity. And where does it get us if you don't focus on what is live? Because if you know something is live, then you know who is responsible. Who's responsible, Hillary? The Jokeroonie time. Jagabouties. Regular viewers will know that Hillary, my very good friend Hillary, thank you, always likes to choose a Jokeroonie that relates to the topic we've been talking about. So presumably, Hillary, let me guess, it's going to be about artificial intelligence. Let's see if I'm correct. And Hillary. No, I'm not complaining. No, I'm not a serial complainer. I'm just making an observation that you've tried this one before. We cancelled it out on the last video. Well, third time of asking. Oh, you've amended it a little. Hillary likes this particular Jokeroonie, so we'll do it then. Why can't artificial intelligence replace executive officers of organisations? Why can't artificial intelligence replace executive officers of organisations? Well, why can't they, Hillary? What, it applies to moi as well? Because artificial intelligence is not designed to be useless. To be useless? I used to say, well, never mind. Please join me again. Keep the emails and observations coming. And I'm going to finish off in the Mark Bolan way, because we've got this here. To all my friends, and you know who you are, lilies and love to you all.